also idea that you will know exactly how it works. So they said in the first question that you should have this file, the evidence RTF, you just have to open. So this is the RTF file of evidence. Just simply double click that, it will open the file. And you will be needing this later on for some screenshots that you have to attach here. So there will be a lot of screenshots and they tell you the steps also that you need. So step number 1, you have an evidence for that you need to do. So the first task is you have to add your information there at the top or bottom, it doesn't matter where, in this document. As long as every page of that evidence document, your name should appear. You can just double click above and add your name into it. So that means your name, center number, and your candidate number should be added. So that's the first thing. The second thing is you will save this with the word evidence followed by your candidate number. So this number will be given before the exam day. So probably a week or a month, not mostly 2 weeks before the exam, you will receive your candidate entry. So you will be having that candidate number. So you will just write this evidence followed by your candidate number. So sometimes 311, 122, and any numbers that they put the sequence of it. So just put the name for it. Make sure the file is saved as Microsoft Word and save it in the folder where you want your work to be noticed. So or easy to be accessed later on. Just save that file and remember where you stored it because you might be closing that one later. So and after that, here is the next step. The task number 2, then you will be opening now a childcare RTF file. So there's a childcare RTF file. This is the one that we need to have access. Double click that and zoom out so that you can see the whole thing. So I always like to zoom out at things instead of zooming in so that I can see the whole thing. I can do like that. So this is my way of doing it, but you can do also the bigger one or the zoom in type. The setup has been made an A4 portrait and 2 centimeter margin. So this is already done, but you have to make sure that really it's happening. You go to the design, layout, make sure it's portrait, make sure it's A4 size, as you can see, and make sure it's 2 centimeters. So you can see the margin setup is not 2 centimeters. It says 1.27. So you go to the custom margin. Oh, it's already set up to 2 centimeters. So it's there. So nothing to change now. We just want to verify if they are actually having those things. It says, do not make changes. So leave it like that. They said 3 styles were actually been created. Do not change any of it unless they have mentioned to change it. So where are the 3 styles? You can see that under the home tab and under the style here. So now just scroll this now a little bit down so that you can see the body, the head, the subhead, and the table was already set. And do not change any of it unless you are instructed to change of it. Just put it in the corner. If you want it to work, just close it. It's anyway here above. After that, you have to save the document with the word nursery. So just simply copy that, go back to your work, F12 to make it easier to save. Write the name of the file. Again, it should be Microsoft Word and save it in the location where you want your file can be accessed. Then after that, it says, make sure that it's saved in the format the software you're using. So I'm using Microsoft Office, so I saved it as Word document. Place in your evidence document a screenshot to show the file has been saved. Make sure that there is an evidence of the location of the file. Make sure that there's an evidence of the file type. So you will go now to a certain folder where you can have access of that information. So I save it on the desktop, so I can just simply leave it like that. And I will just go to modify date and I'll just say today because this is where I save the file. So just auto fit this thing so that it can show the whole data of it.
Can you record the session?
Huh?
Can you record the session?
Yeah, it's recorded from the beginning actually. It's recorded already.
Okay, I can see it.
All right, so now I have my file there, the one that they need the nursery. I'll just take a snip of this area where the file is located, and that will it will be my first evidence. Here's my first evidence with the informations of nursery and the evidence. I don't think they need evidence, but the nursery is there already, which is what they required me to show. So that's one mark for doing that. Now, on the second question, it says placing in the nursery document. So not in the evidence, but in the nursery document. What they want, a right-aligned header on a single line. Prospectus produced by. So this word followed by your name, center number, candidate number. So just copy that in the right align in the header. So to do that, insert, you go to the header and select the three options. In the right align is this. Now check before you add. Maybe there's nothing in the middle so that you can erase it by default so that the text will not go down. See first if there's something on the middle. Oftentimes they will not add in the middle because some issues with the name, lengthy name, and that's they avoid on this particular thing. So there's nothing in the middle, so I can erase that one to avoid overlapping. So I can even drag this a little bit here just to make sure that I have more space for my name here. I'll put the name produced prospectus by, I'll just make it text, and I will put my name here. So SA118, and then your center, your candidate number. That's on the right side as this said. And this said followed by this one. So it's already single line header. So it's just single line. That's the reason why I adjusted those things because we don't want that it will overlap and it will go down in the next slide. And left align in the footer, an automated page number. So there's nothing even on the left side. So just delete that and you go to the footer. So if they only ask one thing in the footer, it says left align footer with automated page number. So just go on and insert the same footer here where you can add this one. This is an information you can add, or just go with this would be appropriate already. Delete those things they don't need. It is said on the left side, footer page number. So nothing in the middle, nothing on that both sides. So click this one here. You go to the page number and choose current position, and any layout can do. The normal one is this. So just click that one. So you see now it's 1, 2, and there are 2 pages only. So I have the pages already on the left side, which is automatically you can ignore these things because these things are already done properly, like one line alignment is already set. And the only thing you have to make sure that if it says in all pages or it says on the specific page only, like on the second to the from second page down. So sometimes it's like that. So you have to click this one here. So at the moment they want every in all pages, so you don't have to click that. Then creating and store the following style basing on the default normal paragraph style. So as I've said before, you have to go to the first part or go to the paragraph part because this is a title part anyway. Click this one here and you will go to normal, you would say. All right, that's the normal I have. Or better yet, just go back to how it was. It was the body and click this one here. So what you will do with that, you click this one here and put the name for it. So the name for this one here is TC title. So normal or body, it doesn't matter because you will change that one. You will make it based on normal. So it will go back to how it should be, normal. So paragraph, a normal style. So serif is Times New Roman. 32 and center alignment is going to be 32 here, center alignment here. It says bold and italic, and it's a single spacing. This is single, 1.5 and double. They want single, so click that. They want 0 and 6, so 0 spacing. For the before, it's going to be under the paragraph, 0 and after 6. So it says 0 and 6, that's what you have. Before you close this one here, read the excuse me. Read the next question. It says, take a screenshot to show that you have defined the setting of the city title style. So you can go back to the format and paragraph, put them in both sides like that one. Take a screenshot for the both of them. Actually, this is enough to take screenshot like many. This is enough for it. But why not bring the two things anyway? Then you go to your evidence, and in that evidence number 3, paste that one. So you can have that particular thing, and it's clear already in the printout with those layout that they have mentioned. And of course, bring it to clear all, or bring it to TC body because it was TC body by default. So we don't need to modify the formatting for that because maybe there's no instruction later on. Now we need to apply the title we just created with the word Tawara Tots Childcare. So meaning you have to click that Tawara. You can just click one part of it and just click now the title. So it will follow for the whole thing. So now it looks amazing because of that layout. Now select the subheading staff and the following text up to the paragraph that ends new surroundings. So if you cannot find it easily, just copy that and then Control F and paste so that you can see where is it. So it's in this area. So this said from the word staff until that word. So the word staff subheading until that one. So you have to highlight this one here until that one. So this is I'm highlighting from the word staff until that one there. So what I need to do right now is to make it into two columns with 1 centimeter between spacing. So I will highlight it already. Oh, let me repeat. Highlight this portion until the word staff. You go to the layout, columns, more columns, two columns, spacing is set into 1 centimeter gap. So that's it. I click OK, and that will do. So now the two columns are already set, and the rest of the document it's not. So when you do like this, you created a spacing. Actually, it's called the breaks. So you can see that's one under your layout. In the breaks, you can see this one here. So you can see that one in here. When you click this, you will see a section break because they are different layouts already. So this is two columns, one column. So there's a section break going on. So sometimes they might ask you to remove section break or breaks in the paper. So you have to click this to see where are the breaks happens. So click that and you scroll down. The next question, it says, the style name TC subhead has already been created, stored and applied to the 5 subheading. Modify that so that this will become this setup. So subhead was done, already set up. So if you observe these things, these are subhead and that's already active. But this said to modify it. So right click into this and you go to modify. Now you have to modify that it is sans serif and 14. Sans serif is Arial. This is 14 points. That is center, which is center here, which is italic, bold, and capital. Italic, bold, and not underline, and it should be capital. So to make it capital, it's under the font. You can find it. You should change it into all caps. So there you have it, italic and all these things. Single line spacing, 0 and 7. Single line spacing is already set up, but 7 spacing is not yet. So you go here and change this to 0 and change this to 7 because they said 7 for it. 0 before, 7 after. So that's the whole thing about this. Check if there's other formatting that needs to be removed. It says 14, bold, italic, all capital, left to right, center alignment, uh, space before is 9, and based on the style of paragraph and normal. So we have no problem about it. Click OK for it. Then it's applied already. See, look, the thing was applied automatically. And you have to take a screenshot that you have modified the subhead. So if you want, again, as I've said, you can go to format, go to paragraph, and take a screenshot for the two things to show that you have modified it according to the structure or according to the data that they want. But you need to close all of those open window because it won't allow you actually uh, to take a screenshot or to paste that one if that window is still active. So you have to close that one.
So, how the space before
Yeah,
the text is 9?
it's here.
No, when you were reading it, you told me that it's 9. How it's 9?
No, it was 9 because they make it 9 by default so that we will change it. So right now we change it to 7 because by default they intentionally make it 9 so that the students will make a mistake if they will not change it. So what we did, since they said to 7, so we changed the 9, we make it 7. Do you understand or no?
Yes. Okay, thank
So
you.
it was intentionally added as 9 so that students will make mistake if they don't know how to change it. Next one, apply a numbered list formatted as 1 to 7 to the text, art, communication until design. So you can see it easily because these are like separated here. So this is the text itself. So careful, highlight only the text when there's an area for it. So let me just highlight from here until the word design like this. Oh God, I hate this. Anyway, Now that's the thing. So this said it has to be numbered list. So it says that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. So these are the numbers they want. So that's exactly what they are trying. 1 to 7. So it's 1 to 7 to the text from communication. So the numbers are aligned to the left margin of the column. So the number is not left aligned. So you can actually drag this one to make it there, but I don't suggest. Instead, I want you to go to the paragraph and then just make it before, just make it 0. So if you make it 0, when you click OK, there you go. So it's already aligned to the margin. The numbers are already aligned. The list is single spaced with no spacing before or after each line. So there should be no spacing here before and after. So you have to highlight these things here. You go to paragraph and just make it 0 at this one here. And it should be single line spacing as they have mentioned. Single line spacing with no spacing before or after. Click OK and you will see now that there's no spacing on the list itself. There is 7-point space after the last list. So you can highlight the last list to add spacing after, or you can click this before the hour scales and go to paragraph and you will add before. You will add 7 so that will create a space before numbers, before the hour word. You click OK. So now you have the spacing. Should I zoom in this one or you are seeing it clearly anyway?
No, it's clear.
Okay, good. Because I really like working to see everything in one time. Be like, it makes me feel like I am doing it right because I'm seeing the movement of the data. The next question, it says, import the image logo and place this in the paragraph beginning. We have 8 spacious playroom. We have 8 spacious playrooms. So you can try to attempt to find it. If not, then you have to control F. But I've seen it now here. We have 8 spacious playrooms. So that's the thing. They said import the image there, which has the word logo. So I will just click on that part. I'll go to where the location of the file and just simply drag and drop the image there. So that's the logo that they want. So let me zoom in a little bit now because this is about the logo. So they said on that logo that rotate this logo 180 degrees. So you can do that manually by rotating this one, but the best method is you can just go to the rotate option here and just do it twice. 90 plus 90, of course, that gives you 180. And then maintain the ratio. Format the image so that it is aligned to the right margin and the top of the paragraph. Starting, we have 8 spacious playroom. So meaning it should be on the top and on the right side, should be here. To do that, you can do an option called square so that you can drag it accordingly. So see, I can drag it exactly, and that's good enough to see. See, do you see the green bar? That's good. Good. That's a good sign that you are aligning it to the top of this paragraph. So just leave it like that. What's this thing? Oh God, stop it. I don't need you now. Move. Okay, there you go. So that's the thing that they mentioned about the image. After that, it says the text wrap around. So that's exactly what's happening already. So we're fine with it. It's aligned and it's on the left and at the top. Next thing they said, locate the table. So I'll zoom out again to see where's the table. So here's the table they asked me to do. They said on the table that the table width should be set to 13 centimeters. So the table width should be set to 13 centimeters. I'll click the table,
Sir,
right?
I have a question.
Yes, boy.
The table is the most hardest thing together with the chart. Those are the most hardest things that I suffer with.
Really? Okay, let's take a look at now if
Yeah.
they're facing.
Like I just want to know everything about the tables, everything about the chart, so I don't miss anything.
Oh, sure, sure, no problem. I'm sure there are some questions related to it. So table first is said to make it 13 centimeters. You click the table and there is the width of the table. So this said a specific width. So this said 13. So you just put 13 and then
Sir,
measure.
how did you bring this again?
I
Right
just
click.
right click into it. I just highlight this part first or right click anyway. You can see the table properties. And you will just make it into the number of points that they want. So this is 13 points. All rows are set to 1 centimeter high. All rows are set to 1 centimeter high. So you will go to rows and then the specific width is 1 centimeter high. So you will make it into exactly 1 cm. Okay, 1 centimeter. So click OK. That's the 1 centimeter high. All the data all the data is center aligned vertically. The table is center within the page margin. So you go back to the table properties and make it into table and make it center. So the table will go in the middle. So that's in the middle now. And this said the text also will be center aligned vertically. So you will go to the layout and you will see here some vertical alignment. So I suggest you go to the table properties and go to the cell and make sure it is vertically centered. This is where the vertical alignment you can see. Click OK. So the text now goes to the middle. That's exactly what they have mentioned. So I have solved the issue here. Now, what are the other possible questions related to table? So other question related to table that you might experience is basically making this one into one column, making it into some sort of changing the background color. I mean, like to shade it with a little percentage into it. Sometimes they ask you to change the layout so that it will be the direction is different, something like this. So another thing that they might ask is related to make it bold, make it a specific font size. So these are the only thing about table, Omar. So there's nothing much about table. Another thing that you
Yes,
might ask,
I saw something.
huh?
I saw something about the table asking us to split the table or something. The mister sent us the home. It was the homework, first homework
No
that the
problem.
mister sent us.
You still remember that question, you can send me that file after some time, okay? So that we can focus on that.
Yeah, I remember it. The one that it said split table.
Split the table. There's no such thing as splitting table is like maybe splitting the cell. So if you want to split the cell, you can right click into it and you have an options to actually split cells here. But I never see any question in past paper that it says splitting of cell. I haven't seen any of that one so far. Maybe it was not a past paper he gave you. But that can be split, that can be deleted, that can be merged. Merging is just right clicking and then merge. Okay, and then splitting means bringing it into two different types. Instead of one cell, you can make it in two cell if you want to split that one. You can split it by row or by column. It's your choice. So you can make it two rows right now. So like this one here. So this is the thing we can have. So far, it's only about, most of this is about alignment, border probably. Maybe they might say the border should be 3 points or 3 to 4 points outside, while internally it's like that only. Or maybe there's no internal border. So maybe they would say no border at all. Okay, so when you print that, you will not see any border of it, see? So maybe they want only the border outside. So you can also do that one by clicking this and you just have to click box and you might ask you to make it specific size. So you click it, when you print, that's the only thing you will see. Or maybe they will ask you to have also border inside, but not thicker than the same as outside. They can make it grids like this. And you click OK. So when you print, you will see that the border is having the same, there is an inside border and there's an external border, but not on the same size. But at the moment, they don't specify any of it. They just want that there is border into it. Uh, that is the question. So the next thing they ask here is like spell check and proofread the document. So spell check and proofread. So meaning you have to press F12 on this one here. Not F12, I'm saying it's F7 in your keyboard, or you can go to review. Actually, you can go to review and you can click the grammar and spelling check. So there's no red marks in here, so there will be, or there's no spelling mistake going on so far. So check this one also if the table formatting is actually applied to it. So check the table properties, modify it, and if it's really happening. So go to the format, go to the paragraph, it says no spacing before or after. So that is why there's no spacing here and there's no spacing on that side. So you cannot modify it because there's no specific instruction. This is the body. Just imagine if I leave the body before here, I did not bring it back. So you might have this type of document, which is wrong. So that's why what I did was I returned it back to how it was. So that's very, very important. So this is also body. Everything is on the same formatting of the body stat. So Arial 10, and that is essentially what they ask for us to do. So spell check, there's no spelling mistake. There's no widows or orphans. To make sure that there's really nothing, Control A for it. Just go to paragraph and make sure this is checked. Applied, click OK. So it will avoid automatically the widows and orphans. So this is 2 lines, so this is not considered as orphan. And there is no blank pages. So right now I have 2 pages only. So there's no blank page that is actually can be seen in that. The original style are maintained except for the subhead, meaning you did not modify the body, you did not modify the table, except you modify only the subhead, which is we did because they asked us to do it. All styles are applied consistently. So the head is consistent here. I mean, the title was consistent. The subhead is consistent, like 5 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4. The body is applied and there is no issue or whatsoever. If you zoom out a little bit, if you zoom in a little bit, you can see that they are very organized in that form. So they have no problem about it. Spacing is consistent in all items. So the spacing between it is
Sir,
consistent. There's
you
not
didn't apply the format for the table.
it's already applied. They don't ask us to apply anyway, but it's already applied by default.
Ah,
See,
okay.
you see that when I click it, it will change to TC table, right? So they have done it by themselves. Like there's already a format that was applied. So if you wanted to again, just click it and click it again. So nothing will change because it was already applied on that particular thing. Save the document using the same file name and format used in step 1. So meaning just save this. And in the end, you have to print this document. So when you Control P, you will see that you will have 2 pages for it. And this is as perfect as possible on this particular work of yours. So if you are just practicing, if you're just learning by yourself, after you have done everything, you go to the mark scheme, look at the way it is organized because there's always an MS for it. So you go MS for that question number, download that particular file, to see for yourself if what you are really doing is actually the same as what they intend to. Sometimes they give the looks of it, sometimes they don't, because latest paper, sometimes they don't put how it looked like, they just put like this one, the names are how the marks are taken from. But sometimes in the end part, they will put that, yeah, they mentioned it right here. So if you look at our work, it's exactly the same. If I'll go back to our Microsoft Word, so you will see that we are doing exactly the same thing, that the information is there, the stuff is there, the informations of the numbers are there. So applied numbered list from 1 to 7, number left aligned, spacing and whatsoever. So there's a space after and before, which is we applied for it. The stuff, all these things were applied, so no problem. There's a section break that makes it into 2 columns. The number is appearing on that particular end. In the second page, there is a table thing, the 13 centimeter. The table is center aligned, which is we did. All rows in one centimeter, which is correct. And data are vertically applied, so which is actually 100%. So the same thing, they don't add space into it because it doesn't make any marks for it to modify it. So exactly 100% the same as what they have asked. So I'm pretty sure you are able to do it if you just have to be careful while doing it. There's nothing to rush. In the exam time, as long as you understand what you're doing, you can able to do the whole thing perfectly. All right. Before I'll give you
Okay.
the version number 2 of this, I want to ask some question for you.